If you've already watched my Swatch Notebook flip through, thank you very much for watching that. Here are the rest of the journals. I shouldn't keep calling them journals. The rest of the notebooks I use for 2024. That was my writing journal, my series notebook, and one that I completely forgotten. I had to go back and re-record it. Anyway, here are the rest of the 2024 line of flip-throughs. Back to the overhead we go. The next notebook that was for 2024 was my writing journal. This is the one I used. I used this Hobonichi Avec, and it was just too big. It was just way too big for me. So I stepped down the size. The other thing is I didn't like that it had dated pages. For instance, you can see here, is it here? Look at there, nothing. I wrote nothing because I didn't write anything on the page. So I hated that. This one, I got Sterling Ink Basic Compact Common Planner. All of those words. And when no pages were left in this one, because I went all the way to the end, when no pages were left in this one, is this the right one? I went to this. This is a Stalogy. It's just a Stalogy notebook. I didn't want to buy another one of these and have all of this in there. So these are the two that I loved. I have a label printer. Let me get that label printer. I want to show you because I like the label printer. So this is my label printer. This is what I use to print labels for the ink. I was tired of writing. So I print my labels with that, but I'm going to print a couple of labels for the spine here. So these two will be my writing journal. And look at that chunkiness! Look at that chunkiness. This is so gorgeous. I'm gonna do a little thing here, 1 second. I had to change something. Thank you for waiting. As I said, both of these were, they're B6 size. And now I forgot what I was going to say. I also used, this is the first time I used, who is this? Sterling Ink and a Stalogy notebook. This is the first time using both of these. I am liking this. Look, I want to show you. This is the Stalogy notebook. So that's supposed to be month and the days. Who the heck is going to try and read that? Silliness, absolutely. This was the perfect size for journaling. I loved it, absolutely. And I just added in the dates as needed. And I love that aspect of it, that no pages, the thing is no pages were skipped. This is all journaling for the year up until September. So January to December, January to September. And I used it to record what was happening in my day, rather than only journaling what I call my heart words, writing all the stuff that comes out. I do that in a separate notebook. Mostly what I got up to in this notebook was just remembering stuff that happened during the day. I just love to, I hadn't done that before. I've always just used a journal to write my feelings. And I decided I really wanted to know what I got up to in the year. And I have all of these, just gorgeous. Love, absolutely love it. I started using the vertical spaces. I'm not a vertical person. I started using the vertical spaces back in January, and this is how I chose to use them. But this just didn't stick. I did that, and then I got into January, February, and then I did that, and then it was a hit and miss. It didn't do well. It didn't do well at all. I don't like vertical pages. I am more of a horizontal writer. The thing that I love the most about this particular notebook is in the beginning, I started swatching currently inked. And the main reason is I started swatching current ink is because I wanted to know which pens I used here, so I would flip back. So I started using, this is currently inked, and then these, I started adding the purchases I made purchase of inks that I made. So I know when I can see at a glance in February, I purchased all these inks. I got all these inks in, purchased or gifted. What is this? Ink Flight. This is what I got in the Ink Flight in March. This is currently inked, and currently inked, I usually ink up 6 inks. That changed by the end, by August I was changing. Yep, there we go. These are ink swaps, these two. And then this was June 30 inks I got all the way up. And then, what is it, 7 Deadly Sins I purchased and Colorverse I purchased. But this is just a good way to record the inks that I got, that I used in the month. I probably will continue that. Oh, there's Tom Studio inks. What? And then this was, oh, this is so sad. This is November 30 inks, 30 days, and I got up to day 15. And that's it. And I decided not to swap anymore because this is a record of what happened, and that's as far as I got. That's as far as I got. Alrighty, so that's what happened in my writing journal. The other notebook I used in, let me get the notebook, where is it? Where are you? The other notebook I knew that I wanted to have a series notebook. For Inkvent last year, in Diamine Inkvent, I knew I wanted to keep, to record groups of swatched inks together, like Inkvent. And I found this is actually an Oasis notebook. It is an A size, the perfect size for what I wanted to do here. You can also see that I got, Midori also makes an A6, sorry if I said A5, A6 cover, and so I got that. I love these covers. I absolutely love these covers. So here is, this is the first ink. I only got three series in here, but this is 25 inks. That's Diamine 25 inks in there, which was so cool. And this is back to back, back and front. I love the paper. I tested out this paper actually to see, can I do back to front, and it worked. You don't see anything of this second one up there. Anyway, and then I did 30 inks, June 30 inks, 30 days in here, and I did all of them. Oh my god, this was one of the best. Monteverde, Giant Sequoia, and all the best Diamine. Oh my god, yes. So I did all of them in here, and I knew I was going to possibly do one more series in here, and that other series I did was November 30 inks, which turned into November 15 inks in 15 days. So there, and I only did the color. I didn't put the pen in because it wasn't, to me it didn't matter what the pen was, so I only did the inks, and I only got up to day 15, and I actually counted out that I had enough paper left. I did, but I just never finished. Oh, I never finished. I got so behind keeping up, swatching the inks, that, I just didn't. I just couldn't. I was sick and I got too behind, and in the end, I decided to let it go. The other ink, the other one that I use, where is it? The other one that I used that I did not keep up was, I call this my art. When I started swatching inks, beginning of January, every ink that I got, I just did a little dot and did the name because I wanted this to be full of dots. And I got that far. So, there is that. I did that and I just never picked it up. Okay, the last one is the last notebook I use in 2024. Some of you may have seen this, some of you may have not seen this. This is my Pips Sheet Binder. Now, before I talk about the binder, I want to take a quick moment to talk about Pip Sheets. Early on, I wanted a way to showcase all the inks inked up in an individual pen in my collection. I want to see how the pen, the nib, and different inks performed. Now, previously, I'd written my ink notes, my ink report notes. Where are they? Where are they? Previously, I'd written the ink report notes here. So after every December covered the ink, I'd write the ink report notes here. But the only thing about this is I wanted to see all the inks that were inked up in like this Leonardo MZG. I wanted to see all the inks, compared them all together. And what I would have to do is kind of go like this. Oh, so this note here and this, okay. And I did not want to do that. I needed to access the information about the pairings. That meant I had to remember which currently inked it was. And I thought, you know what? There's a way to do this differently. That's where Pips comes in. Because I wanted them all in one place, but I didn't want to put it in necessarily in my swatch book, although I could, I could look up and see which ink it was. I wanted it all in one place. That will change next year somewhat. It'll change a little bit next year. I wanted to record or compare all the inks. Let's get one that Jinhao, no. I want one that has a lot. This one, Lamy Pinkcliff. Let's do that one. In Lamy Pinkcliff, I've inked up, because Lamy Pinkcliff came into my life in June or July, one of those months. No, May. May was the first one. Duh. Look at your notes, Grace. Look at your notes. Anyway, Lamy Pinkcliff came into my life in May of 2024. And so for these, I knew that I wanted, let's see, take your time. I knew that I wanted it to classify the pens by brand. As you can see, I have TWSBI, Lamy, Jinhao, Pilot, all of these. I have more, but I'll show you that in a minute. And I also knew that I wanted each pen to have its own paper. So these are called, one of these is called a PIP sheet, Pen and Ink Pairings sheet. And I wanted to be able to cross-reference pens and nibs of the same brand. So all of the Lamys are linked together. I can cross-reference a Lamy 2000 with a Lamy Pinkcliff and see how they write. I can cross-reference like that. But I can also reference all the inks that went into this pen. These are, and I write notes. These are the pairing notes. For Diamine Glacier, it was an okay pairing. With Caran d'Ache Electric Orange, great writing with the Lamy pen. So I know that I can see at a glance, this ink wrote well with this one, this ink not so much. What was the thing that made this ink not and this one a really good one? And then bah humbug, what a joy this pen pairing was to write with. So it progressively got better, the inks I put in my Lamy Pinkcliff. I'm loving. I got to see, if the ink was too dry, if there were issues with flow, what nib gave me problems. All of that stuff is recorded in these notes. All of that. Look at that. Pilot Cocuno. You got 4. Oh, I did back-to-back Yosemite Green, August and November. And that's the thing. Even though back-to-back here, one was in August, one was in November. And this would be interesting if this November was different than this. They were both good. But that would be an interesting, why did it change the pairing from this one? But it's all good. It's all good. So the thing is, I went about designing these sheets, and I knew I wanted to include a couple of things. I wanted to include, I'm gonna take out something that's a little bit different. I now have to have a second book, y'all. I have to have a second book because I have that many pens. And I'll tell you about this binder in a minute. So the things I wanted to record, I wanted to know the pen name and the style. I wanted to know when I purchased it and where I purchased it from. That was important for me because I'd always have to go back in my emails to see when and where I purchased. I mean, I could go to the my spreadsheet, but I wasn't thinking about that far. I wanted to have the nib and the size, the name of the nib and the size, especially in case I got a different ground on it. I wanted to be able to record that. And then what I wanted to know was which month did I use this, just like here, May 2024, July 2024, which month I used it, a space for just the swatch, small scratchy swatch, the name of the ink, and then the pairing notes I took. All of this is on a pip sheet. And of course, I named them pips because pen and ink pairing sheets. Pips! Pips! I don't mind saying pen and ink pairing sheets, but I just prefer a shorter, easier way to say it. Plus, I love a good acronyms. Anyway, there are two types of sheets. There is this one that has space for a photo. And this is, I think this is an older sheet. Just pairing, just ink pairing. You get 6 spaces here, 12 in total. So if you wrote with a pen 1 time per month with 12 different inks, you'd be able to write. See all that comparison between all those inks and this one pen. Love that. The one with the photo has 10 spaces. Same thing, but one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to put and this one is missing a photograph. I haven't put a photograph here yet. I wanted to have a photograph because some brands have different styles. So that's why I redesigned the back, and you can get this one or you can get this one. I redesigned the back in case you wanted to put a photo. I wanted to put a photo there, so that's why the 2 styles are available. As I said, both available. They're in my coffee shop right now in sets of 10. I knew I wanted to have these sheets instead of having a bunch of them in folders and having to flip through, which one is which. Now I know, oh, Jinhao. I know, oh, Jinhao 80. I use that. I can write in there. Jinhao 100 Classic. Oh, I use this one a lot. I like this pen, apparently. Oh, October, how did I get, October 2023. July, August, and then November. I use this a lot. I like this. Oh yes, the blue celluloid. I love that pen. Ever since I changed the nib, I love that pen. Love that pen. So you get to see everything at a glance. I absolutely love it. So about the binder. I spent forever trying to find the right binder. I knew that the size I wanted for the sheets would be Lamy A5 size. I knew that that's the size I wanted for the sheets. But I wanted to find a binder that was different. And I spent forever trying to find the binder. Now this binder is called the Clyde Fleek binder. And you may notice that it has a different kind of opening. It's not the metal opening, it's just a slide. And it is the easiest thing. I absolutely love it. Some of the pens that I have are now in, I had to buy a second one, y'all. I had to buy a second one, and I decided to go with this one. This is what someone, one of my family members gave me for Christmas. There is a more inexpensive version of binder, A5 size binder. My friend Dolores, hey Dolores, she went with that binder. This one, after this one, I probably will go to that binder as well, because these cost a pretty, they're lovely, absolutely lovely, but they cost a pretty penny, y'all. Yeah. One of the things you need to know, pip sheets comes unpunched. So if you don't want to get this binder, but you have a 3-ring binder, 6-ring binder, you get to choose what holes you want to punch in your papers. Also, if you want to slip it in the back of a notebook, you can do that as well. Yeah. I've been meaning to talk about these sheets forever, and I did it in spurts, spits and spurts. Is that the name? Is that the thing? Spits and spurts? I don't know. Spits and spurts. We'll go with that. Spits and starts. There you go. That's it. I talked about it sparingly, and I shouldn't because I love these sheets, and I want everybody to know that these sheets are just really very good for what you want to do. Anyway, I forgot one notebook, y'all. One more notebook. This is it. So this is my Ink Flight and pen unboxing notebook. I actually did it in a separate notebook. I don't know why. Ink Flight started in 2023, August of 2023, it looks like. So I continued it here, and I went up until March, April. I think it was is April or May? March, April. I think this is April. I stopped because I was getting so many samples of inks. And here is Docto and Haho Mask and Umbridge. Those are the three that, oh my gosh, I love these colors. Love these colors. Wasn't so keen on. I started getting disillusioned with the inks. I wasn't exactly fan of all the inks I was getting, and so I stopped. Plus, I have five trays of ink samples, which I'm going to talk about that in 2025. The thing I also did here was I did every pen that I bought and unboxed on camera. I did here, all of them. This is the pen I can no longer find. I'm so disappointed. Yep, all the pens. There's a lot of pens, y'all. About a lot of pens. That could not happen in 2026. 2025, rather. Yeah, the Fountain Pen Revolution pens were the last. Ultimate favorite pen, the Hongdian M2. So there's this one. This is the other notebook that just housed ink flights and pen unboxings. So I want to give some final thoughts about these things that I use. First of all, know that anything that I referenced here, there will be links to in the video. Some are affiliates, some are not, but you'll see them in the description box. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed using these notebooks. 2025 notebooks lineup is going to be, it's going to change, but only likely. It's not a whole lot of it's going to change. Actually, only one of them is going to change. Yeah, of these, only one is going to change. Does anything stand out for you about these journal and notebooks I used this year? Anything that, let me know. Anything that you will adopt? Does it matter to you your Pips Pen and Ink pairings at all? Does it matter your pairing, the Pen and Ink pairings, or that's not a thing for you? It matters to me because I really want to see how a nib reacts with different inks. And one more thing before I go. If you showcase your 2024 and or 2025 notebooks with a video, let me know in the comments so I can go and watch. I'd love to support you too. And maybe there's something I need to adopt that you're doing. Okay, before I sign off, I have one announcement to make. I thought I would start the year with a little insight. What does that mean, you ask? I want to do an AMA, an Ask Me Anything kind of chatty video while I swatch some inks. Because I'm sure I'm going to have inks coming in. It's a new year, gotta have more inks, right? Actually, I have been eyeing a particular brand for a bit, and I'm going to jump in and buy them in the next couple of days. So, if you've ever wanted to know something more about me, something like maybe it's a pen related question, maybe it's about my collection that you've seen in the videos, maybe it's something YouTube related, like you're a newbie just starting out and you want to hear about my experiences thus far, anything, shoot the questions at me and I will start collecting them for this one video. Now you can do it a couple of ways. You can either PM me, private message me on my Ko-fi page. I'll put a link for that in the description. Also, you can leave comments here in the video. I'm not much on social platforms still, but I'm gonna try and reform myself, and I'm gonna reform how I approach them this year. That's what I'm gonna do. I will send out a YouTube community post when that video comes out. I don't know yet when it'll be. I know it'll be in January, mainly because I'll be waiting for those inks, the order to come in so I can swatch it in that video. Okay. As we begin this new year, I wish you a year full of joy and laughter, lots and lots of good times, and ease through the challenging times that may show up as well. Plus, loads of prosperity in whichever way you want it to come into your life, because things are not just about the money sometimes, am I right? This channel is about having some serious fun, so there you go. I have thoroughly loved this trip down memory lane in these two videos. Don't forget to watch the Swatch Notebook flip through. There's a link in the description for easy finding, so you can go and watch that if you haven't watched it yet. If you've enjoyed this video, if you've also, I should say, enjoyed this video, don't forget, hit that like button and please consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. It greatly helps YouTube get these videos out to more people just like you, because I have a sweet mission this year of 2025. I want to get more of you to watch more Grace videos. Let's do this, right? Let's do this. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video. Bye.